Today, Rinpoche gave a very clear explanation as to why all practitioners have to include the practices of the 6 perfections, the 37 branches of enlightenment, and the 16 emptinesses, no matter what level they are at. Just 1 or 2 is fine. Thank you so much.
What are you going to do? The Kadul the Lawrence Hadji in the Tedua. Dalai, and the Tibetan Buddhism love to down, Chabato, Dojitiba love to use, teaching Shilla love to down, Chabato Dojitiba, Song love to Maria. You what did Song love to do now?
The Lamrim Sache?
Sache. Teaching Shilla love to down, Dojitiba love to need the war. What the law is can't let it go.
Okay, so we've now in the Lamrim Chenmo, when we look at the actual outline, I want to find the outline part in the English. Are we good? That's good, Rinpoche. It's good now? Okay. Good? 100%? All right. Okay.
Alichim page in a sonja hanga junganga. Chiki the Bandua. The tabu sajimwe. On the heart legua. The tabu totan shiro. Totan shiro, the tabu totan shiro. What the name
Okay, so we see the entrance of the tantric vehicle into the outline, where we find the union of method and wisdom, and now we find in the outline the part about tantrayana. Then the puik, the chankar.
Sonja ngajungangare.
Ngachunganga.
Chigidel, the tabi totan shiro. The tabi totan shiro. Paradishiba drugis. Dubalas, Hubane, Hashibater, Hatan, Paradishibaniki Tumois, Hata Pashini Tumois, Chibundita Tumola, Rosino.
Bless her. Okay, so Rason, in the Sache, the NGK, Sache Yure, then the Datalaka. So now we have the demonstrating the section that you will not become a Buddha by learning either method or wisdom separately. I believe that's the heading that we're under. The major heading is how to learn the Bodhisattva deeds after developing the spirit of enlightenment. And then the reason why you must learn the trainings after developing the spirit of enlightenment, and then demonstrating that you will not become a Buddha by learning either method or wisdom separately. So now in the text, when you turn to page 99, you'll see where the point about tantrayana is made. Let me just show you. Be right with you. This training in method and wisdom comprising the 6 perfections is, as explained earlier, common to both the mantra and perfection vehicles. In many of the tantric classics, we find repeated mention of the complete path of the perfections, etc. So that's going to be where we start today. And I was just trying to see if there was a section that broke it into the Tantra, but I don't believe that we have that in our English broken down. I thought that it would be. But anyway, this is where we find in the outline of the Lamrim where it gets into the common practice that the six perfections is in relation to not only sutra but tantrayana as well. Okay. The do dang a the So in the text it's referred to as the secret vehicle, which is referring to tantrayana. So here the point that's being made is that the six perfections are something that we can say are in common. So we have things that are common and things that are uncommon or not common. So the six perfections are something that are common because we find them not only in the sutra teachings, but we also find them in the Vajra vehicle teachings, the tantric teachings, or as mentioned within the text, the secret teachings. Dixon. Secret mantra.
Secret mantra. Sangha ge nyale jesu sangha nyale jesu de sanji jule de la kan de na jin sangha nyale je de da tuba nyale je was tuba drabo so de sa kamba de sanji le gongone maro drabo gongo was
oh facts
na lo na de so sanji gone maro de sanji drabo drama de edan de drabo gongo sa ha go de Hajinti nyala jesu do deres da drebo da na batuma gombe la eza halans what is the word is marve.
So the tantric path is a pathway where we actually try to create a facsimile of what we will become and the environment that we will abide in while we're practicing up to the point where our environment and our own beings are transformed into those pure beings. So in the practice here is that we imagine that we ourselves are the actual deity in Tantrayana. Even though we aren't the actual deity, we use our imagination to create a facsimile of the deity, like the deity, and we meditate on ourselves as this deity, and then our environment, even though it's just the normal environment, we imagine that it's a pure environment of the deity. So we imagine that ourselves, that we are transformed into the deity and our environment is transformed into the pure environment of the deity. And then eventually, through practice, these things will become the actual reality, our actual reality. We will be the deity. Our environment will be the pure environment. So this is how. It's pretty close.
It's the receiver.
Geshe Rinpoche. So we. Is it fixed? Okay. So now, did we miss things, or are we okay? Just okay. Thank you. So we then eventually transform into that deity that we've been practicing and meditating upon and imagining ourselves as, and our environment then transforms naturally into that pure environment of the deity that we've been imagining as a consequence or result of this practice that we've been doing. So this is how the secret mantra vehicle works. Okay, Diksung Rinpoche.
Haji yung chewa tomanes, haji yung chewa tomane, ne yayi kantang lai guba jinye ji Yuan Tangji, Nag Senjin Den La, Shibi Tses, the Lai Jay Kantan, Ladan, or the Hal, or the Son Euro, or the Sugalo, Senjin Den Son Euros, Senjin Den Shibi Tse, Ne Shidu Dan, Shanshu Sudin Dan, Tony Judula Suba, Paru du Simbi Lan, Yonsu Zuba, Zuba Layan, Yanda Yando, Shibi Shirosa. Tak ada Lai Jay Kantan, Ladan to Nabasha de, and Pashin Judan, Shanshu Sudin J, and Tony Judu, Tony to Shira Judu, or to Lai Nabasha, Jay Kantan Nabasha, or the little Jagu, something said it. Shindu the Shanshu Sudin Dan, Tony Judu. Shanshu Sudin Tabanya Baji, other Ponge, Dutu Kambaji, Ombonga, Dogma, Shanshu and La Dun, Pabilan, La Jace, the Shanshu Sudin Marbe.
Je, the Gemma.
Tabanya, or that the Gemma Galendo, Euro, Marbe.
Okay. The Gemma, the Selpo Ratu. So this training, Yanjerlo, this training in method and wisdom comprising the 6 perfections is, as explained earlier, common to both the mantra and perfection vehicles. For in many of the tantric classics, we find repeated mention of the complete path of the perfections, the 6 perfections, the 37 branches of enlightenment, the 16 emptinesses, etc., in the context of explanations that the entire celestial mansion and the array of resident deities are the inner qualities of the mind. Therefore, know that all the perfection of wisdom literature's explanations about what is to be adopted and what is to be discarded are comprehensively shared with the mantra vehicle, except in the case of the tantric teachings for certain exceptional persons in which they must take the experience of sensory objects as the path, and so forth. So here, we have all of the practices that we find mentioned in the sutra teachings, in the classic texts. We have the 6 perfections. We have the 10 perfections. We have the 37 branches of enlightenment. And these 37 branches of enlightenment can be broken down into various categories. And Rinpoche said in the future we'll go over it. He started to and realized that I would run into trouble with vocabulary. So we are going to table the breakdown of the 37 practices, but we will do them at another time. And then also the 16 emptinesses, so the 16 wisdoms realizing emptiness also are mentioned within the sutra teachings. So all of these points that are made are points and practices that are in common with the tantric vehicle. So they aren't something that is just for the sutra vehicle. They are in common. And then it goes on to say that there are exclusions, things that aren't common, but these are not those. These are the ones that are common. So the great texts say that all of these, the celestial mansions and the pure abode that the deity resides in are all manifestations of the excellent qualities of that deity's mind, his or her mind itself. We see how the creation of this environment takes place through mental imagery or through the mind. So just connecting it as a translator's note into Tantrayana, we're using the mind to create this imagined place, and then we have enough excellent qualities to actually do it. That's the point of this. So it's saying that these deities, their abode, their environment is created by their pure minds. Digsa. Less so. So here it's stating that in the tantric vehicle, the 37 practices, branches of enlightenment, and the 16 emptinesses, and the 6 perfections and so forth are all pathways in the tantric vehicle. So this is the point that's made. Sunju Sudun, the Ngudujen, the Leugare. Jipa, okay, Jemangeda. So we find in the 4th chapter of the Abhisama Alamkara these 37 branches of worship. I can pull them right at break then. I have it right here. I just, Rinpoche said later, so I'll wait till break. Go 9. Juni, Sanjay Khan Juni, 12. Okay, the 2 horns. So how does this Tantrayana work? How do the qualities of the mind create this manifestation? So I think I'm going to run into some problems with vocabulary. Rinpoche is getting into the Yamantaka Tantra, which I don't practice, so I don't have a lot of the vocabulary for it. So I'm going to do the best that I can. So the Yamantaka has 9 faces and 2 horns. Then the 2 horns are significant because they symbolize the 2 truths of conventional and ultimate truth. Then the Jawagare Gunga Mepachi, they go.
Judici latu ngalo tene lantu lai nabashawa sondu sonro jerumchi ngale pajiti lantu ngalo ane latu jai khang nabashawa sondu
I see.
Dan jijil le pajiti lantu jijil latu jai khang naba kandes shawaresana tata shegu no sonro lago shegu de ranin jabani trut
Less so.
Rani de bani sha suyu da guzun do de sudun de xiaoshu sudun sha suyu
Sanju Sudun.
sha suyu da guzun xiaoshu sudun
Allez.
sha suyu suyu
Sha.
Suyu
da.
Sha suyu je sonju suyu je ongolo ko sun tu sonja na.
Okay, je gosun tu je. Okay, de kali kabu. Let's go. So what does this mean? So in terms of a Yamantaka practice, for instance. So so here the deity and the celestial palace are manifestations of the mind, are manifestations of the excellent qualities of the mind. So this imagined practice is contained within Yamantaka. So where are these 30, so if you ask where are these 37 practices and the 6 perfections and so forth contained in the tantric practices, and we find all of the significance right within the deity of these practices. For instance, the 2 truths are the 2 horns of the head, and there are 9 faces. I have to ask again, unfortunately, what the 9 faces connect to, because I'm still not clear. And then there are 34 hands, and then if you add the body, speech, and mind, that makes for a total of 37 branches of worship. So we find the 37 branches of worship and symbolized, or it's actually a manifestation. The deity is a manifestation of those 37 branches of worship. And the deity is the manifestation of the 16 wisdoms realizing emptiness and so forth. And these all are manifest, and the deity and the abode itself are manifestations of the excellent qualities of the mind. Then the go, gari shene, the jawagare, the dumba go, the go.
Sha soyu dan kusung to sudin shangshu sudin. Sha soyu dan kusung to sudin shangshu sudin. Shangshu sudin de sha songju soje judu ruwa. Judu jige ni le songju soje marbe. Tengu lo ko song to jana dun songju sudin ro.
Leso.
Sha soje dan ko song to jana shangshu sudin to de na ba sha wores.
Leso.
Sha soje dan go sung to na ba sha.
Then the dum gatsa yure.
Sudin ro sung ju sudin.
Yomar Gigi the
shego no sung ra yo la go ne. Ta tere shego no sung ra yo la go.
Then the go yen la
Ta shego
go.
no sung ra yo la go. Ra nyin de ba ni chu.
This so this abala son. This so yen la go. Then self yomare. Dinga ngama
shego no sung ra yo la go.
shego sunra yen la go. Sunra
Don go yo ro. Do de ya ni ro de ka mo ro go yo ro.
go. Okay. So there are 9. So the branches of the teachings are the 9. So it's just not something I'm familiar with. So when we look at the various teachings, they can be divided into 9 different branches of the teachings. So these are the reason for the 9 faces. The 2 horns are the 2 horns of the conventional and ultimate truth. There are 34 hands. 34 hands coupled with the pure body, speech, and mind make for a total of 37 that are significant for the 37, branches of worship. Then the Doni Judru Yirbe.
Sho judu Doni Judru. Sho ji sho kamba judu yo ro, kamba.
Legs. So there's 16 legs Yamantaka has, which are the 16 emptinesses.
Doni judu sho judu na ba sha. Doni judu sho judu na ba sha wa na doni judu ta ba ro. So ina la ge sho judu kamba ta ba ro. Doni judu ne sho judu re ga ma ro. Sho doni judu to bi shero judu de sho ga na ba sha yo res.
So this is maybe above my level, but so there are 16 emptinesses. So how can the 16 emptinesses, emptiness is permanent. So the 16 emptinesses are permanent. So how can we say this? So we say that they are the wisdoms realizing emptiness. So we are the 16 wisdoms realizing emptiness that are being manifested there. The actual wisdom realizing it, that is what is being manifested at that point. The Doni Dopi Judru. Doni Dopi Judru.
Doni Dopi Shero Judru. Shero Judru Nabasha.
Less so.
Shero Judru.
Doni Yomari Gangisuna Toni Dapayan. Mitapa Yomari. Doni Dopi Sherap.
Shero Judru Nabasha.
Doni Dopi Sherap Mitapayan. Tapayan.
Shebaro. Doni Dopi Sherap Mataparo.
Shebayan. Okay.
Shebayan.
Datalai Lapsar. Lapsar.
Yeah, what did it?
Ngay Tsikta. Tsikta.
Ta what the Bashal Tanado, Ranin Debanis. Takondo Deba to be Shero, not about to be Shero, but Rani the Rebai. Rani Joai. Nile and Hedges is Tisman.
Okay, so we say that these 2 horns are the 2 truths, conventional and ultimate truth. So the wisdom realizing conventional truth and the wisdom realizing ultimate truth. Are these horns those? Are they causes for those? So Rinpoche is asking, if they're saying they're manifestations of those, are they actual wisdoms realizing conventional and ultimate truth, those horns? Or are they causes for that? Juyin, Lobsang.
And
And if they're cause, are they substantial causes or cooperative conditions? So there's a lot of doubts that arise when you say these things, but then analyze what the point is. If we're saying they're manifesting the truths, or these horns are they manifesting the wisdom, realizing them? So it's just analyzing this. When we look at the Yamantaka text, I missed this at the beginning. When we look at the Yamantaka text and we find all of these points made about the two truths and the two horns and the faces and the 9 divisions of teaching and the 37 practices by the arms and the body, speech, and mind, and the legs signifying the 16 emptinesses, we then have to analyze these points. If we're saying they are these, because when we read it, it says they are these. They are these things. The two horns are the two truths, is how it reads. So, Digso. So in Tantrayana, we have 4 classes of Tantra. We have the Action Tantra, Performance Tantra, Yogic Tantra, and Highest Yogic Tantra. So, when we look at the practices of the Action Tantra, Performance Tantra, Yogic Tantra, and Highest Yogic Tantra, and we look at the celestial mansions and so forth, we see that these are results of, are manifestations of the 6 perfections, the 37 branches of worship, and the 16 emptinesses. So this is the points that are being made here, is that it's saying that these are excellent qualities. These things are created by, just as a translator's note, just quickly, these things are created by the excellent qualities of the mind. So what are excellent qualities of the mind? The 16 wisdoms realizing emptiness, the 37 branches, and so forth. So Geshe Rinpoche is positing that the perfection path is what creates these deities and abodes within the Action Tantra, Performance Tantra, Yogic Tantra, and Highest Yogic Tantra. So these are the creators of these. So it's showing the common practice here, how the perfection vehicle actually creates the tantric deity and tantric abode. Digsungs. Kali Kalila. So in the stages of Tantrayana, in Lama Tsongkhapa's other text, just as a note, there's a Lamrim. Lesso. So when we look at Lama Tsongkhapa's larger text, there are 2 main texts. There's the Lamrim Chenmo, which is the stages of the path, and then there's the Ngarim Chenmo, which is the stages of the tantric path. So these are the 2 major texts on these topics that Lama Tsongkhapa wrote. But he also wrote many other works, smaller works and so forth, about these texts, but these are the 2 larger volumes about these subjects. So the point that's being made here is from the stages of the tantric path. And so Lama Tsongkhapa puts the question, why are there 4 classes of Tantra? What is the reason for 4 classes? And then there are 2 reasons. The Jutsen-ni, there are 2 reasons that are given. Dene? Lesso. Then Tambo, Da, Nipa, Kemagar, Sumba, Lapaja, Jipa, and Mizambashu. Okay. Lesso. Lesso. So the first reason, there are two reasons that are given, and the first reason that's given is that there are 4 degrees of attachment. So the point of this is that when we're transforming attachment into pathway, and we look at attachment, there are various degrees of attachment. So these classes of Tantra connect to these degrees of attachment that are compared to these examples. The first degree is compared to when a boy looks at a girl, just as a translator's note that, for instance, he finds attractive. You know, it's not just a boy looks at any girl. So a boy looks at a girl. This attachment that happens is the first level. Then the da shaju, kemagar shuju, okay, that's good. I got ahead of myself. So the second, so the first is this sight that takes place. So that degree of attachment is the first degree. The second degree is when there is not only this gazing, but also a smiling that takes place. So coming back. So there's you're gazing where there's a form of attachment. Then when you're smiled at, and then you smile back. This next level of attachment is the next degree. The next degree of attachment is when there is a touching of any sort, holding hands. That's when the next degree of attachment takes place. And then finally, when there is union or sexual intercourse, that's the final level of attachment. So these various degrees of attachment, the energy or the energy is then transformed into a pathway. So, for instance, the bliss that comes from the attachment to gazing is utilized as a path for the action tantra vehicle. Shaju lapsar. Kangalagu. Shuju sha. Kangalagin. Decent. So then the next is smiling. So the bliss that arises when the attachment, when one has this attachment and there's a smiling that takes place, the bliss that occurs in that attachment, when it's utilized as a path, is considered the performance tantra. The next level is holding hands or touching. The attachment to that and the bliss created that's utilized as a path we find in the yogic tantra vehicle. And then the bliss of intercourse and the attachment to that that's turned into a pathway is that of the highest yoga tantra. So this is the first reason Lama Tsongkhapa gives for the 4 classes of Tantra, that it relates to the 4 degrees of attachment and the bliss that's created, transformed into a path. Okay. Digsun. Jutsen Tambo Lapsa.
Yeah. Oh, the Kasura, that's a lot of
Jutsen Tambo. Jutsen Ni.
Jutsen Kade, Aleo.
Narim Chem.
That Judy,
Lessa.
That never there's a yard, never there. She is not a two to the Shaju is. Shaju and to Sandra combat treasure to Sandra two waters. She is not a two to be Jude. 샤유주 시 zandadan 시 zandadan 나그 등에니 네갈 차냐부 되거든요 슈주 슈주 된내주주 나게 내주주 나 시셔와 나 네갈 통을 되는 내주주면로 나게 내주 코날 되거 란나메주 what the 인송하래
Gyanjer, Rinpoche, Gongyal Mevichi. The Shaju, that's Sama.
또 시 zandat
Outer.
시
Ale. Nang Dang Shi. Oh, Ale.
시 zandat 또 되비 차네 잡이 주의 샤유주
Dene, Nipa.
단 쉐주로
Shuju.
시셔와도 나게 내주니까
Nika.
쉐주
Dene, Nika. Dene, Nejorju.
내주지 시셔와도 나게 내주니까 나게 내줄 주도 내주지
Ale, Nangi Mo.
와야
Ale, Tuchena. Okay, Nang. Okay, so that's the first reason given. What is the second reason that's given? The second reason that's given is that there are 4 different emphases. So Action Tantra is focused on outer cleanliness. So there is much focus on the outer world within the Action Tantra. Performance Tantra has an equal emphasis of cleanliness of the outer world, but it's also coupled with this inner, the shuju, sanwa dang, sanwa dang, na shedang nang nika.
니갈 되거든요
Yine. So it's really there's a I see. So there's an outer focus on cleanliness in the Action Tantra. There is an equal focus on inner and outer practices in the Performance Tantra. In the Yogic Tantra, there is a practice of the inner and outer practices, but there's more of a practice of the inner practices. And the highest Yogic Tantra focuses only on the inner practices. This is another reason that's given for making 4 classes of Tantra. The Action Tantra is focused on all outer, cleanliness and so forth. The Performance focused equally on outer and inner. Yogic focused on outer and inner, but more on inner, and highest Yogic focused solely on inner. So we see Action all solely on outer, and highest Yogic solely on inner. You see the state, as a translator's note, those stages where you go through, you basically go from this coarse outer practice to all inner practice. Disung.
따이도 고비도 추비도 되차지로 되차지 되고 도와지 돈이도 별로 원주토나 안 타봐도 사지제모 도야 어떤 용거지로 대주마도나 안 퀄리티죠 오래는으로.
So when when one has there are 4 degrees of attachment. So the first degree of attachment that comes from gazing, the result of that is a level of bliss. The second level of attachment or degree of attachment is from smiling, and the result of that is a degree of bliss. The next degree or level of attachment is that of touching, and the result of that is another level of bliss, the third level, we'll call it. And then finally, the attachment the degree of attachment that arises from intercourse has a result, and that result is this 4th degree or level of bliss. Now, these can be transformed into a path if they're united with the wisdom realizing emptiness. If one has the wisdom realizing emptiness, then these attachments can be transformed into pathways to liberation, pathways to omniscience. But if one doesn't have the wisdom realizing emptiness and does these practices, they just become causes for cyclic existence because they're only attachment. They aren't practice. So this has to be coupled with the wisdom realizing emptiness, or it's not practice. It's not a cause for, I'm sorry, it's not a cause for liberation or enlightenment or omniscience. It's merely a cause for cyclic existence. Dixon. So when we say in the tantric vehicle, we use attachment as a path, we use anger or hatred as a path, and we use delusion as a path. We're not being attached to something. We're utilizing the energy, the bliss that's created from these various levels of attachment, etc., not the attachment itself. So it's the energy that's created within that attachment, within that anger, within the ignorance that's utilized. It's not being ignorant. It's not being attached. It's utilizing that energy. I hate to use the word energy, but there's not really another word that we can make into this, because it's really a blank space when you read it in the Tibetan. But it's really, this is an energy. Dixon. Yunten show. Less so. So, Senge Zampo, Haribhadra. Haribhadra? Right? Senge Zampo is Haribhadra, right? Am I correct? Senge Zampo is Haribhadra? So there's two different, so Haribhadra has two different commentaries on Mudajen, on the Abhisama Alamkara, in the outer, I believe outer and this is Haribhadra, right? Okay, thank you. So that's Haribhadra.
People give the show.
So he wants you to show everybody in the room. And show the camera too. So there are two texts written about it, Dechung and Dechung Dang Dechen. Great. So basically it's a a synopsis and then a larger expression. So that's what the two texts are. One is a smaller text and one is a larger text. So Rinpoche wants to get into the 16 emptinesses. So there are 16 emptinesses that are pointed out here. So what are these? I thought that I saved it. Okay, Ju Lama. Umajupa the Yure. Okay, Umajupa. Judru Dangje. Okay.
Drebas Eshe Tunes, so long to Eshe Tuni Marva, so long to Chudu to Quinin and two Zugulaji, so not to Chudu to Quinin and two Eshe Chugulaji Juje there, Eshe to Chugulaji Juje, Eshe to the La Nishu Aris Nishu, not a shutdown. Niga Dang, Domba Nidang, Chenmo Dang, Duan Dangba Dang, Duje Dang, Duma She Dang, Talin Deba Dang, Toma Dang, Tama Meba Dang, Toa Meba Dang, Raji Dang, Chu Dang Je Dang, Ragi Tseni Dang, Meba Dang, Ngobu Mebe Ngoni Dang, Ngobu Meba Dang, Ragi Ngon Dang, Yenji, Ngon Domba Niji, Shiraki, Naba Nishu was Fluency Zombie, Nishi to Nishu Sondua. Nishu Nana, Tom Judu, the Tony Juduja Woods, Tom Judu, Tony Judu is.
The Nishu, Gangisena, the Umajupa, the Judru Dangje, the Chipa? Gangisena, Sikh Pechachegu. Chipa? Okay, Sikh Pechachegu. Okay, so we find that we divide it into the Ngayure, Gangisena Sikh Pechachegu. Inji Sikh ni Pechacheg. Jepar, Dela Yeshe Gitsok ne Nang Dang She
Nang Dansana,
Nang
Tomba Nis,
Nang
Nang Tomba Nishosana. Not nobody shows and not to make over your make over never Maruba, not nobody is.
Okay, then a Kali Gangisena the Nyamdu the Pentogudu, Gangisena Nang, Dang She, Dang the Ni Nyamdu, the Injicate Sikh Yure, Umajupa. Then Nyamdu Pentogudu. Okay, so this text starts out saying that we look at the two collections. We have a collection of merit and collection of exalted wisdom. And the collection of merit is what creates the form body of the Buddha, the enjoyment body and the emanation body. And the collection of exalted wisdom rather, is what creates the Dharmakaya, the natural truth body and the wisdom body. So this is how the truth body is created by the collection of wisdom, and the form body is created by the collection of merit. So there are, it says 20 emptinesses altogether if we look at it and we want to categorize emptiness. So first we'll start with the 16. So there are so there are 20 empty the Sherab Nishu. The Sherab Doni Dupi Sherab Nishu. Doni Dupi Sherab Nishu. But Doni Dupi Sherab Nishu? Yeah, they lapso. Yeah, so that's the 20 wisdoms realizing emptiness. Rinpoche thought I was saying something in 20. I might have shortened it and said 20 emptinesses, and that's permanent. So it's 20 wisdoms realizing emptiness. So we can divide that into 16 and 4. So we'll begin with the categorization of 16. So we have inner emptiness, outer emptiness, and then emptiness both out and in. So the nangi, the gare. So here, what is an example of something that is inner? So an example of something that is inner is, for instance, the sense powers, an I sense power. The lack of true establishment of the I sense power is an example of inner wisdom realization. So why is the sense power not truly established? The sense power is not truly established because it dependently originates. So dependent origination is the reason for its lack of true establishment. This is what this first type of emptiness is referring to, the emptiness of the inner and inner. So if we look at the lack of true establishment of the I sense power, for instance, then we can look at all the other sense powers and apply that same lack of true establishment because of dependent origination to it. So an example of this is the lack of true establishment of the I sense power. Okay. So anything that isn't a sense power, the Wambo Mayina? Wambo Mayimbi Chu. So Wambo Mayimbi Chu Shi. Okay. Shi Chu Sho Wambo Mayimbi Chu. Okay. So now the next example we're going to say is what is outer emptiness. Outer emptiness is referring to the wisdom realizing the lack of true establishment, for instance, of anything that isn't sense powers. So anything that isn't the lack of true establishment of sense powers would be under this category. So any phenomena that isn't under the category of sense powers would be this outer. So sense powers are inner. Anything else is outer. Diksung Ted Kagu.
Yeah.
Neutral.
Yeah.
What? Break. Okay. Latsu Kagu. Nutra Ngate Sampa. Ngehako Gomare. Kontela.
What condition? Ta shit tombani no shit tombani shit taro no tombani.
Okay. I guess Karmani. All right. So we have outer emptiness and inner emptiness.
Ta shanani ki tombani shows.
So something which is both.
Shanani ki tombani shows na on ten ko banga so ta de mi dodo jindoa. Wa de tul de de ba ma ru ba de shanani ki tombani so de. On ten ko ba mi re ri jindoa. Wa de de ba ma ru ba de shanani ki tombani so yo de.
So within the eyes and so forth, there are supporting things that are not the sense power themselves, that are supporting factors, and those would be what we are considering both inner and outer. So this is... So the lack of true establishment of these supporting factors are what is referred to as that which is both. That which is both. So
Shit Tombani, not Tombani, Shananiki Tombani, Sonjirwa.
Less so.
That Tombani is. Tombani is na. Tombani de Deba Maruboro, then the invasion. Tombani is. Tombani Deba Marubo, Tombani is.
Okay. And then the next is emptiness of emptiness. So emptiness is empty. Why is emptiness empty? Because it is dependently originates. So this is the next emptiness. Emptiness of emptiness. Why is emptiness empty? Because like everything, it dependently originates.
That Chenmo Tombani shows na Shuju Tombani East South what the Shuju Marva. The
next is emptiness of immensity, and this is the lack of true establishment of the various directions, north, south, east, and west, and so on. So this is, and just let me go back. The emptiness which is both in and out, the 5 inner supports of the 5 sense organs included within the consciousness are not included within the senses. They are both outside and within. So the lack of inherent existence of both inner and outer phenomenon is emptiness both out and in. So I just wanted to make that clear, what I meant by the inner supports. They're included, are not included within the senses, but they're both inside and out. So it's the lack of true establishment of those that is both in and out. So the next is emptiness of emptiness, then emptiness of immensity, which refers to the directions, lack of true establishment of the directions. Dixon.
The
next is emptiness of the ultimate, and here, Dundan Demba Tombani?
I think,
yeah. So, the Chuku. Chuku Tombani, the Dondampi Tomba, the Kaju Delpa. Ngay Chiran La, the Sikh Pechache, the Donda Pechache Gamare. Chiran Truaja, the Gare. The Gare. The Gare. Less so. Less so. So the next is emptiness of the ultimate. And here this is referring to ultimate truth, the lack of true establishment of ultimate truth. Less so. Less so. Nietzsche.
Kakaro.
Yine ni yure. Okay. Ale kaka hakosan. Less so. Tuchena. Next, emptiness of the compounded. Compounded refers to that which comes about causes and conditions, that which is impermanent. So that which is compounded is not truly established because it dependently originates. The next is emptiness of the uncompounded. Uncompounded is that which is permanent. That which is uncompounded is empty because it dependently originates. So this is the next form of emptiness, emptiness of the uncompounded. Then
Talendeba Tombani the Carendo, Nakal Pejago, Talendeba, Nakal Tayo Yomaro. Yana Koala Java in the Talendeba Tombani.
Beyond
Talendebas.
The Dondagare?
Talendebas not that Nakal Tayo Maro, Koal Tayo Maro, Sheta, what the Nicarolian Jing.
Okay.
Nakadema Maruba.
So the next emptiness, voidness of beyond extremes, emptiness of beyond extremes, extremes of substantialism or nihilism. So the emptiness of that which of substantial, the lack of true establishment of substantialism, or nihilism. So these are both beyond what is beyond the extreme position, these extreme positions.
다 토마토 담아매봐 도마니. 토마토 담아매봐 도마니 가래도.
The gare Yanjer Surana?
토마토 담아매봐 도마니.
Yes, it is.
고아 인도대 고아.
Korwa.
그래도
Korwa. So next is emptiness of what is endless and beginningless. And here it says samsara is what is endless and beginningless. So here cyclic existence is an example of what it's talking about. So samsara, cyclic existence, is not truly established because it dependently originates. So this is the next one. Is someone writing this down for a count? Awesome.
도와매봐 도마니스. 도와매봐. 도마니 도와 봉자 말বে 봉자. 봉자 대마 말고 인도.
Okay, emptiness of what should not be. Hold on, that's
도와매봐 도마니.
What should not be spurned. Okay, emptiness of what tonwa mepa, of what should not be spurned. Dondagare.
도와매봐 도마니 손도 도야데 녀무도 녀디데 시리도 도구로. 도자로. 도자도 대마 마루거로. 녀디데 시티. 녀디 시티 도자로. 도와매봐 도마니.
So, what should not be spurned? I don't know if that's the best way to. This is how they're translating it here, but what it's talking about is nuji dan shiji panjayin nicha demba madrupa. The okay, so here the afflictive obstructions and the obstructions to omniscience. Less so. Correction. So you should not spurn or give up on certain practices. So you should practice learning emptiness, and should practice bodhicitta, the mind that aspires to enlightenment, and so forth. This shouldn't be discarded. That thing that shouldn't be discarded is not truly established because it dependently originates. Dikson, Selbolaso. Natural. Is Yanjer Surna? Ranjing Hakul. Ale Kamba Ranjin Dang. Mi Ranjin. Okay. So the emptiness of essential nature is the next one. A house has a nature. A person has a nature. That nature is empty. So nature is like what a person is. Their nature is they have 5 aggregates that are a being that is imputed upon 5 aggregates is a person. So that their nature is that they're among 5 aggregates if they're a person. That's the translator's note. That nature is empty. So anything's nature, the emptiness of anything's nature is what this is referring to. Emptiness of essential nature. Dikson. Memipa.
What about Jurubata?
Voidness of defining attributes. The Mamipa.
Mamipa tomba ni churu batro. What the change karjado.
Form is feeling is experience. Let's go. Mambo your conditioning. Conditions that bring into being. The Tseni dan soncha drabodu. It's the Kadok Duta Rua Demba Madrupa. Yomare? Chichena June. Okay, so this is
Seme Mameba. Rabonda Seme Mameba. So about the nigga Dema Madruga Logo, Pajakunu do it. Mameba Tomba, yes.
So Mamipa. Objectless. I think it's objectless. Emptiness of objectless. Objectless.
Did you more not to judge it? Jidu Tommy Jeba chasing us, Gontan Jambe.
Rinpoche is saying that there's a great master. I'm looking at a commentary. Doesn't matter, but it's a different system, and it doesn't have all the same information. And there's a great master named Guntan Jambeyan that said that looking at a lot of text can be good, but it also can confuse your learning, because then you have all of these ideas, and if they're not the correct ones, then you're not sure which is which. So anyway, it's just Rinpoche was Mamipa Tombani. Seme Mipa, Mamipa. So it's an object of So we look at oh yeah, so it's did drop dropoldu. So we look at the defining characteristics. So that's similar then. We look at the definition of existent. And the definition of existent is observed by valid cognition. The definition of non-existent is that which is not observed by valid cognition. So both of those things that are existent, they're defining characteristics observed by valid cognition, and those are not existent, defining characteristics that not observed by valid cognition are not truly established because they dependently originate. So this is the number 16, Mamipa.
What the pages are not
objectless, I guess.
What in the ancient, what don't you do the Jagures? Ngoloma down Juduba, the 20 Judu the Jagures. Pages are not a fashion, Jatan Chungaldo, fashion Jatan.
So we find in Hari Bhadra's work that there are 20 wisdoms realizing emptiness expressed. This is from Panchen Sonandrapa's work that we're looking at right now. And this is the Shugu Chung?
Shudan Jatan Chungare.
15. Page 115, the Parshin Shidun of the Panchen Sonandrapa's general meaning of perfection. So these 16 emptinesses that we just went over are from that.
What the last not
Pentogdu. Not Sheda Pentogdu. So it's very important and good that we went over these 16, and you can then study and look into them. And then this explanation has gone now via this video all over to all people. Israel and other places we've seen activity. They're able to, in anywhere, able to look at these texts now and hear these teachings because of the internet. So Panchen Sonandrapa speaks here of the 16 emptinesses in this text.
돈이 이슈도 마다네 골마 주주데 돈이 주주데레스
Less so. So these are 16 emptinesses among the 20 that are expressed in other texts. These are 16 emptinesses.
다 돈이서 가르쳐 그래 폼봉가부터 다저라 지지 도만 나봐야 다 주수 따오스 나서 폼부터 대마마로 버레스 폼보 그 뛰는 줘봐라 뭐지 뛰네 폼보서 간 줘봐라 줘봐 얘다 마줘봐 라마도 줘봐요 말아 매도 대마마로 버레스 클래시 고도다.
So we see in the Sutra of the Heart of Transcendent Knowledge, seeing the five skandhas to be empty of nature. So merely there is a coming together, a collection that's coming together. There is not any nature that is truly existent. There is merely this emptiness. I think I forgot one thing. So there is no external inherent existence that happens from its own side. There's no inherent establishment. There are merely these collections coming together, and then there is a this or that. Something can be named this or that. But there are many collections that are coming together in order for there to be this or that. There is no inherently existent this or that that's exclusive from these collections that are coming together. So we find seeing the five skandhas to be empty of nature in the Sutra of the Heart of Transcendent Knowledge. This is a very abbreviated text. But then if you want to look further, we also have the 100,000 verse perfection of wisdom, the 20,000 verse, the 8,000 verse, and so forth.
What the Sultan Mamadan Chuna Deva Maruba San Mamatangina, Deva Maruba Seme Maruba Inaya, Deva Maruba Dinij Mando Nabe, Todun Seba Tanji, Dungang Gujute Wais, I am the work. So now Chungun Chue de la Todun Seba Samin Tudun Seba Tanji, the Seba Rabisheva Jurus. So now I had the Tony Dinij Mando Jambe, Todun Samayos. Because Tony Dinij Mando Jambe, Todun Jebaina, and the Dungang is all Gujute Wais.
So, okay. So when we we posit this fact that all phenomena are not truly established, and then when we look at things that are that which is existent is not truly established, that which is non-existent is not truly established, and we begin to have these ideas and we develop these points within our mind, it is said that when one with small merit even has a doubt about whether things are truly established or not, it actually shakes the world. So it speaks in Aryadeva's, maybe I'll find it, but it's very, very close to what I said, that cyclic existence is shaken by this idea that occurs, and it's only and it doesn't have to occur in the sense that it's a fully established thought. It means that if there's just a doubt that occurs, that mere doubt shakes cyclic existence. Just give me one moment. I'll find it. Okay. Dixon.
What do you do? What the Garza? Passing to belong to the Galo Hangi, then you don't have Nabashawa is. So at the Tanjil Jana, short Judun, Tony Judu, don't need to be shared Judu there, short Judu, Nabashawa is. So need to be shared.
Less it.
She is imagining combat Judu, Maracomba. Less Eba Judu, Yuma Judu.
Less so. So here we have explained the 16 wisdoms realizing emptiness, and then if we go back to Yam and Taka, And we were explaining before that the legs of Yamantaka, the 16 legs, are significant because they refer to the 16 wisdoms realizing emptiness. So we just went over what those 16 are referring to that are being manifested in the form of the legs of Yamantaka in the case, the case. Diso.
This way. What the Beijing passing what the Jatan Jungal do, the Zigan Yuna, what the moment to get that.
So anyone who's interested in looking, you can go to page 115 in Panchen Sonam Drapa's general meaning of perfection, and you'll be able to find these 16 emptinesses.
The
understood now? So this isn't something that's exclusive to this text. We find in many texts, such as the Golden Rosary and so forth, the Golden Rosary, we find many texts that express these various emptinesses. Also, we find it in the Chandrakirti's entrance to the Middle Way, the commentary on the Mulya Madhyamika Karika. And then in Panchen Sanandrapa's Uma Gomba Rapsel, Gonga Mepachi, and Lama Tsongkhapa's explanation of the Middle Way, which is a commentary on Chandrakirti's entrance to the Middle Way, we find these points as well. So we see in many different texts the points being made about these emptinesses.
What do you do to what the name is?
So it's good that we went over these 16 emptinesses, and then in the future we can go over the we can go over these 37 practices of enlightenment, aspects of enlightenment. So going back to the text, I'll just read from the top. This training in method and wisdom comprising the 6 perfections is, as explained earlier, common to both mantra and perfection vehicles. For many of the tantric classics, we find repeated mention of the complete path of the perfections. 6 perfections, 37 branches of enlightenment, the 16 emptinesses, etc., in the context of explanations that the entire celestial mansion and the array of resident deities are all inner qualities of the mind. Therefore, know that all the perfection of wisdom literature's explanations about what is to be adopted and what is to be discarded are comprehensively shared with the mantra vehicle, except in the case of tantric teachings for the certain exceptional persons in which they must take the experience of sensory objects as the path, and so forth. So here, all of the deities in the celestial abodes that we find in the 4 classes of Tantra, action Tantra, performance Tantra, yogic Tantra, and highest yogic Tantra, are all created by the excellent qualities of the mind. What are the excellent qualities of the mind? They are the practices that lead up to and support and continue with the Tantra vehicle, which are the perfection vehicle practices, and the 37 branches of enlightenment, the 16 emptinesses, the 6 perfections, and so forth. These excellent qualities allow for the manifestation of these 4 classes of Tantra. So Lama Tsongkhapa, was a great scholar in the Sutra and Tantra, and is able to make it so clear for us. Digsa. So, once just reading through it again, so for in many of the Tantric classics we find repeated mention of the complete path of the perfections, the 6 perfections, 37 branches of enlightenment, the 16 emptinesses, etc., in the context of explanations that the entire celestial mansion and the array of resident deities are the inner qualities of the mind. Therefore, know that all the perfection of wisdom literature's explanations about what is to be adopted and what is to be discarded are comprehensively shared with the mantra vehicle, except in the case of the Tantra teachings for certain exceptional persons in which they must take the experience of sensory objects as the path and so forth. So within the classes of Tantra, for those beings who are highly realized, one utilizes the poisons as a pathway, as explained. One utilizes the pathway, the attachment, and utilizes anger. One utilizes ignorance or delusion, and is able to utilize them and transform them into path. And it makes it clear for certain exceptional persons. Disa. One must practice all of the things mentioned. There are more, so going back, I've left one thing out from before. There are more things that the classes of Tantra and Sutra have in common than they don't. Was just one thing I missed. So in order for Buddhahood to occur, there has to be the mind that aspires to enlightenment. There has to be a union of method and wisdom. Without that, it's not possible to achieve enlightenment. So there are, in order to get rid of the afflictive obstructions and the obstructions to omniscience, one has to have certain qualities. And without those qualities, it's not possible to achieve the goals of any of the sutra teachings or tantric teachings. Decent.
다 공도 시바디 상주주의 생제네 신로 로비슈 주전이로 공도 시발라 사면시데스 레바선네 나슈로 maybe 차창와랑 야바 마네나스 제바 좀시 나지 감마지바 나유스 싫어던 데만 나지 들라 내가 tempo 제일 고통만네 고통만네 고도만에 티바추 고도만에 티바추기 리지 네바 제제소 당와샤오스 와다 상주주도 생제 신도랑 차상을 러비 주는 거 시바지네 티바추기 리지 네바스 상주주도 생제 신도로서 차상을 러비이나 안테제 리기 네바디야 페용레스 제제소 당와샤오스 와다 송도와
Take the above explanation as a seed and reflect on it well. If you are not then certain about a path that is not just partial but complete in all aspects, you have not comprehended the foundation of the Mahayana path in general. Therefore, intelligent ones generate a solid certainty about this path of method and wisdom, and in many ways continuously grow in your natural capacity for the supreme vehicle. Chu delpa lasan chera ngay sampa yomar je becha lok kuna
becha loda ne
losar
ba
lotsar
teba de chinta so to soba haba la lobi remba ni she bas wa de somba saji somba de ngundo.
So now we arrive at the third category, explanation of the process of learning the precepts. Chutsugatsure.
Chutsugatendoa. So
we have a little bit of time left. Maybe we'll have question and answer. The yakshu. So maybe a couple of questions and then maybe answers. Coleman. Yeah. Yes.
I was just curious.
It's fine. It stopped making the noise.
Okay, I'm just curious if I know someone that has suffered from a mental illness.
Okay.
And how can he tie medicine with Buddhism? Do you see, like, how much should he rely on faith and how much should he rely on science?
Okay. The Kong Trobo. That's the Sam Junior Nyumba Dandrar. Then the member con may take do. In con Shikshena the Nampi Chu Nyamlan Chegudu. Then Chiran Sanlo Garyube. Tepa con Ropache May Yakshu Chiran Sanlo Garyube. Gangisuna Kongi Trobo Sam the Chak Dandrar, the Nyumba Dandrar. Yine kon nampa. Then tepa yakshu, me yakshu. Medicine.
That man to Nambishu Jagina Rawande Majina Rawandes.
Less so. So it's important that he relies on, first, Rinpoche said, the medicine given by the doctor. And then once he's, or she, is, not stabilized, but taking the medicine that the doctor gives him or her, then he or she can practice whatever faith they wish, and then include that in their life. So it would be more of like, first go to the doctor and make sure that the medicine is given, and then whatever religion you want to practice to aid in your journey, practice that. So, and you can also maybe speak to people about what are the benefits of Buddhism. Like what would, just when you're speaking to someone about Buddhism, you could speak of like how it has benefited you or what the benefits of it are. Meal is appropriate.
Rinpoche for taking my question. So my question is having to do with the experience or the realization of emptiness. How is the realization of emptiness similar to the understanding of empty space? And what would be the correct understanding of realization of emptiness?
There's no connection. Rinpoche, Doni Dopi Sherap, Domba Ni, Dang Tomba, Drawa Gare. The tomba, the nanka, the tomba ni Doni Dopi Sherap, the tomba, nanki tomba, drapu due. The nampi, the gegen kashi, June, the Zoo. So it's similar to, they are different. They're not the same. It's similar to a form and an eye consciousness apprehending a form.
So
the form isn't the eye consciousness. The eye consciousness realizes the form. The tomba ni, the doni dopi shera yuna, the tomba, the kong the hashan drawa dan drapu du kong sa. Tomba, nanka tomba.
Naka tomba san don doni kwa cha go mares.
Less so. The ka
san don so nga sa yin do nga. Nga de da go chuba chun chubaro. Go da jel tuen chubaro. Ma de ba yeri mare. Less so. So you will not understand emptiness if you are trying to reach it by comparing it to the emptiness of space or voidness of space. There is no similarity between the two. Emptiness is merely a nature of something. When we look at the eye, what is emptiness of the eye, for instance? The eye is merely something that we have a name and we adhere to as an eye, but it is a collection of aggregates and various things that come together that then serve as a basis of designation for that eye. But you can't find any inherently existent I that is separate from this collection that is named as it. This is what emptiness refers to. Emptiness and voidness of space. Emptying of the mind is an incorrect view. When you're meditating upon emptiness, emptying the mind of thought is an incorrect position. As the translators note, it's the position that we just negated for the last few classes held by Master Hashan, this idea of this emptying the mind in a space-like sense where there's no conceptual thought whatsoever, and that this was the highest emptiness. This has been negated many, many ways and many times. So in answering the question, there's no connection to the emptiness of space other than space is empty, and that's what Rinpoche was trying to say, that space is empty, but it doesn't mean that space that emptiness is space. Space is empty just like a car is empty, just like I am empty. I am a collection that's nominally designated as I,
but there's not something separate. In the same way, space has that relationship with emptiness. Space is empty, just the same way this bowl is empty. And the question was, what is the relationship between the wisdom realizing emptiness and the emptiness of space, space like voidness, the voidness of space? So maybe concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer? Thank you very much, everyone. The fundamental ground is scented with incense and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha land and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure realm. I dedicate whatever virtues I have collected for the benefit of the teachings and of all sentient beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of Venerable Losang Drapa to shine forever. I send forth this jeweled mandala to you, precious Guru. I dedicate all this virtue to emulate the knowledge of the hero Manjushri and likewise Samantabhadra as well. With whatever dedication is praised as supreme by all the conquerors who traversed the 3 times, I also dedicate all my roots of virtue for the sake of auspicious deeds. In that pure land, surrounded by snowy mountains, you are the source of all benefit and happiness. All-powerful, Avalokiteshvara Tenzin Gyatso, may he stay until samsara's end. I pray for the long life of the precious Khensur Wandak, holder of scriptural and realizational doctrines, spiritual friend who trained extensively in the 5 great philosophical texts with exceptional wisdom and perseverance. Tu Geshe Rinpoche, Gucci Shapi Denronam, Lamrim Chemo Kanga Chironam.